Hey y'all, it's Alirien, and welcome to our Samhain tarot reading. For today's readings, we are following the same format. One moment. My dogs know that they're about to get fed, so they are having a fit. So if you hear barking in the background, many apologies. For today's readings, we are following the same format that I have used in all of the videos before this one, where I'll be reading 3 cards plus the bottom of the deck of a standard Waite-Smith style tarot, and I will also be pulling 1 card from an Oracle style deck. For this Sabbath, I am using the Beautiful Creatures Tarot by Rivera and illustrated by Jasmine Beckett-Griffith, who is one of my favorite artists. And for the Oracle component, we are using the Lunar Oracle by Liberty Phi. The Beautiful Creatures Tarot I have used before on this channel several times. The artwork is beautiful, as is to be expected. The Lunar Oracle is set up in 3 types of cards: New Moon, Full Moon, or Wild Card. And it's just pretty simple, and the statements on the cards are pretty self-explanatory. We will be doing 12 readings, 1 for each of the Western zodiac signs. We will be starting with Scorpio and ending with Libra this time. As with all of my reading videos, please take what resonates. Oh, also, as of filming this, I'm really close to 100 subscribers. I'm sitting at 92, so I'm putting a challenge out to all of you. If you can all get me 8 more subs by my birthday, if we can get 8 more subs by January 5th as like a birthday present to me, I want to do something special on the channel as like a thanks for 100 subs, because this has been years in the making. My channel has been very, very slow to grow, especially compared to a lot of people, but I've been seeing a lot of growth in recent months and I've been very, very glad for it. So 8 more subs by January 5th. That gives you 2 months. And we'll do something special. I'll figure something out. Maybe I'll talk with my patrons and figure out what they would like to see. Or if you have an idea of something I could do, I don't know if I'll do any sort of giveaway because I'm still really small. Maybe the subscribers of the channel can suggest a costume or something within reason. We'll figure something out. But I want to do something special for getting 100 subs. So, also, quick shill for my Patreon. Only starts at $1 a month. All the links are in the description. I say this at the end usually, but I'm trying to do it at the beginning because not everybody watches all the way to the end of a video. So, all of that out of the way, we will go ahead and shuffle and we will get started. Heyo, there's one. Is that 2 and 3? Yes, it is. Alright. There it is. For Scorpio, we have in the bottom of the deck Strength, and for the main spread, 7 of Wands, 3 of Pentacles, and Temperance. Your Oracle card, which is a full moon card, says, "A mistake is something to learn from." Scorpio, yours is actually pretty straightforward for this season. Strength, of course, is reminding you to have strength and persevere. And of the strength you truly have, even if you may not have recognized it or if you maybe forgot about it, 7 of Wands tells you that you can overcome any problem or obstacle so long as you maintain the courage to do so. 3 of Pentacles is the process of putting ideas and skills to work in order to see a project actually make progress. You'll need to be meticulous and potentially have to work with others. And Temperance is usually a card of balance. So I think, honestly, like I said, it's pretty straightforward, especially thanks to the Lunar Oracle. Mistakes are things to learn from. Whatever you're working on, whatever you're about to start working on, this project or goal that you have in your sights right now, it's clearly something that's important to you. Mistakes are bound to happen, but they're not a bad thing. Yes, it's a mess up, but there's something to be learned and some way you can strike out and keep moving forward better for having been through what you've been through and making the mistake that you made. Remember your strength, remember your courage. Forge ahead in spite of mistakes and problems and obstacles. Don't be afraid to reach out to other people for help, but keep working on this goal. Don't just talk about it and think about it, work on it. And remember to have a good balance of the time that you're putting into this goal and the time that you're relaxing and doing other things that invigorate you or that make you happy, or at least take time to actually take care of yourself. A lot of times mistakes will happen when we're rushing, or we're tired, or we're hungry. We've neglected ourselves physically or mentally in some way. We're not in the best state in order to do the work properly and want to do the work properly. And that's usually when mistakes occur. So don't be afraid of those mistakes, but take care of yourself as well while you work toward this goal. Find a good balance and do everything in moderation, and everything else will follow suit. Alright, Sagittarius. The bottom of the deck for you is the Ten of Swords. Your main spread consists of 9 of Wands inverted, 8 of Pentacles, and the Moon inverted. Your Lunar Oracle is a new moon card that reads, create space for the dreams that inspire your reality. It took a second to put these together into something cohesive. The Ten of Swords in the bottom of the deck, being your underlying context, is that you've been through some sort of hardship recently. You've been having a really tough time with something, but that struggle has finally come to an end, for better or worse. You found the solution, you found the way out, and your suffering is over. You haven't necessarily recovered from that yet, but your suffering is over, at least for now, with this particular scenario. 9 of Wands inverted, however, tells me that you've been hurting yourself. Part of your problem has been yourself. You've been hurting yourself in some way. And with that, I think you've forgotten your potential, or you forgot your potential because of the scenario you were in. So you started seeing yourself as not worthy, as worth less, as a burden in some way. And so you've been beating yourself down because of how you're feeling and because of the struggle you've been going through. And this has also perhaps extended to how you've treated others as well. So we need to rein ourselves back in and evaluate how we've been thinking about ourselves and try to shift to a more positive, or at least a more neutral outlook of ourselves. Okay, Sagittarius. You also have the 8 of Pentacles, which is practice and diligence and continuing to work no matter how tedious or long or boring it gets. It also, in this particular deck, points to perhaps having found a new talent or skill that you didn't realize you had, or it's something that you've recently developed, and it's helping to pull you out of whatever you've been dealing with, either by giving you something else to focus on so that you're not focusing on yourself and all of your failures and all of the problems that you see with yourself. Either way, this skill and this talent, this project, whatever it is a good thing because it's pulling you out of these issues here with the 10 of Swords and the 9 of Wands. So keep working on this skill. Let it pull you out of the 9 of Wands and back toward remembering your full potential and toward actually striving for that full potential. The Moon inverted also says that you are starting to recognize the truth and the bigger picture about some scenario, things that were kept from you in whatever way by whomever or whatever in your life are starting to be realized, and you're starting to recognize the greater truth about something, possibly about the scenario that you were suffering through and that you've finally gotten through with the 10 of Swords. Things are looking up for you, Sagittarius. The struggle that you've been through has come to an end, and you are ultimately better and stronger for having been through it because you survived. You need to focus on reining yourself back in, treating yourself better, and working on this new skill or talent to develop it and master it as best you can, because it will help you redirect your focus and realize just how skilled and talented and how much potential you have within you. Create space for dreams that inspire your reality. You are doing this by following the 8 of Pentacles and keeping some of your intuition tuned into what the inverted moon says. Keep working on doing the things that you love. Focus less on the flaws and problems you perceive with yourself. Don't act negatively toward yourself. Focus on this skill. Focus on this project. Focus on everything else and make that space to engage in that hobby or to try for this career goal, whatever it is. Even if it's something as simple as making a mood board to help remind you every morning when you wake up and every night when you go to bed of this goal that you're striving for, this dream that you are pursuing. Make the time and the space to strive for your dreams. Capricorn, for your reading, you ended up with one extra card in this spread because I had one jump and then I had 3 jumps, so we're gonna roll with it. But the bottom of the deck for you is 3 of Swords inverted, and your main spread is Paranormal inverted, 10 of Wands inverted, 7 of Cups inverted, and the Habit. Your Oracle card, which is a wild card, reads, don't let past events color your vision of the future. Something has happened with Capricorn that caused grief and heartbreak, and it has affected ways in which you have thought or acted or spoken in some way. 3 of Swords is that heartbreak and that grief. It is also, since it's inverted, telling me that you have finally started recovering and moving on from this. You've started healing from this, which is a very good thing. You still have a ways to go, as most of these cards are telling me things that you need to work on and address, Capricorn. But you're starting to heal and move forward, and that's a very, very good thing. Keep moving forward. Don't linger on the past. The Paranormal inverted points to something that either you've been meddling in too much or someone else meddling in that aspect of your life. There's something that has too many fingers in too deep of a pie going on. The rest of the cards hint that it might be you that needs to step back and stop focusing so hard on whatever it is. But there's part of me that's thinking that it might be the other way, where somebody else is too involved in your life. It could be a bit of both. But somebody somewhere is too involved in something else and needs to step back from any involvement with it. The 10 of Wands inverted is being too quick to give up on something when something gets hard, and really needing to refocus and buckle in and actually do the work to get through whatever obstacle it is, rather than letting something being hard stop you from continuing to pursue whatever that obstacle stands in the way of. 7 of Cups inverted, you're starting to see your situation in a better light, in a truer light, and the full reality of the situation, and you just need to accept the truth of what's going on and move forward with that, rather than sticking with your initial perception of it or what other people tell you. See it from all sides, see the truth at the heart of the matter. The truth is usually between the 2 or more perspectives. It's like right in the middle of the 2 or more perspectives that are involved. The Habit says that you are dangerously close to forming a habit or an addiction or just a path in general that if you continue down it, it will be very, very difficult to come back from it. Be very careful about the things that you say and do. Be mindful of any habits you already have right now, any of your tendencies, because some of these seem like they're unhealthy. I think the 10 of Wands and the Habit are hand in hand. I think the tendency is this want to walk away from something the second it gets just a little too hard for your liking. Life isn't easy. You've survived everything you've been through up to this point. What's to say you can't deal with the obstacles that are in front of you? Especially after having been through whatever grief this 3 of Swords is pointing to. You survived that. You are inherently a stronger person for having been through that grief. Refocus. Get away from this tendency to want to give up on something the second it gets a little too hard. Focus on how far you've come in recovering from this grief and learn what you can. If there's anything left to learn about the situation you went through, let go of everything else and move on as best you can. Aquarius, you ended up with 2 oracle cards, so we're still gonna roll with it though. In your main spread at the bottom of the deck, we have the Judgment, and in the rest of the spread, 3 of Wands inverted, 1 of Pentacles inverted, this is the Ace, and 3 of Pentacles. Your 2 oracle cards, you have 1 full moon card, remember to respond rather than react, and a new moon card, when you ask for help with an open heart, it will come. The oracle cards I will address first. Remember to respond rather than react. Respond and react are synonyms. However, there is a distinction that is intended here, in that rather than reacting instinctively and potentially saying or doing something that you didn't intend and that can cause a problem, temper your reaction and think, even for just a moment or two, before you say or do anything. I think that gets it across. Take a few moments to think about how you respond so that you don't potentially cause a larger problem with things that you say or do. That said, Judgment points to an opportunity in front of you that we don't often get in our lives. You are potentially being given some sort of a second chance, or otherwise a chance to start fresh with something or in some way. This second chance is coming with a calling to do something that you are going to want to do. You may already want to do it, but you're going to start feeling called to actually start down that path. Take that opportunity, take that chance, because this is a rarity to get second chances and new beginnings like this. The 3 of Wands inverted does caution you against being too hasty and rushing through things, because often it causes more problems than we even realize at the time. Be patient, take your time, don't be hasty and too needy as you pursue this. The Ace of Pentacles inverted warns you against neglecting your physical health and your financial prosperity. Don't overspend on things that you don't need right now. 3 of Pentacles further encourages you to pursue this new skill or talent and this new beginning, and actually act on it rather than just thinking about it or talking about it. And don't be afraid to talk to other people. When you ask for help with an open heart, it will come. Be open-minded and open-hearted and open to receiving the help that you need, and work with others to achieve whatever this goal and reach the end of this path as unscathed as possible. You may also need to teach other people something new or think outside the box a little bit here and there, but your bookends here are encouraging you to take this opportunity, take the reins on this as best you can. Pursue this, but be reasonable as you do so. Pisces, you have, in the bottom of the Beautiful Creatures deck, 4 of Wands, and for your main spread, Page of Swords, the Sun inverted, and 8 of Cups inverted. You also have for your Oracle, a Wild card, Practice gratitude to reveal the good in your life. So the 4 of Wands is a reminder of the importance of unity and having good, strong bonds with those around you, and a reminder to accept everyone's differences, including your own differences from people around you and the larger world. Page of Swords is reminding you to think through a scenario that you are facing and make sure to draw your own conclusion rather than just taking the conclusion that somebody else has made, especially if those conclusions are clouded by fear or doubt in any sort of way. And try to avoid anything that discourages you or causes you to feel negatively about yourself in any way. The Sun inverted is telling you that in spite of the amount of clarity that you have about whatever situation, you're not actually seeing everything as clearly as you can. The solution is kind of right in front of you and you are just not seeing it, or you're seeing it but you're not wanting to take it. The 8 of Cups inverted implies having abandoned some sort of commitment, going in circles or not being able to keep up with everything that's going on in your life. This is a tricky one. There's some sort of situation where you're being called to focus on the bonds and relationships you have with other people. And I think perhaps you need to evaluate the bonds that you have with those other people. Don't let fear, don't let negativity cloud them, don't let doubt cloud them. Just see everything as plainly and realistically as you can. I'm wondering if maybe there's a relationship in your life that has fallen to the wayside in some way, Pisces, or if there's a relationship that perhaps needs to be severed because it is causing you harm mentally and emotionally. Literally, the Page of Swords warns against associating yourself with anything that causes you to doubt yourself, or to doubt your potential and the goals that you have. The Eight of Cups is saying that you walked away from a commitment. Four of Wands is reminding you that bonds are important, like bonds with other people are important. So there's some sort of aspect of your life or relationship in your life that I think has fallen to the wayside, or that you've perhaps given up on, and you either need to revisit it and rekindle that and start again, or you need to fully admit and accept that you've moved on and actually move on. Because you're either starting to move on but you don't actually want to let go yet, so you're clinging to it, or you're starting to drift away and you need to not. Practice gratitude to reveal the good in your life. Be grateful for everything you have that has blessed you. And as you practice that gratitude, the things that are good will shine and will stand out, and everything else you will realize isn't good, and you'll be able to more directly and more consciously make decisions to let go of things that aren't serving you, if you have the control to cut that out of your life. That's kind of the two sides of this that I'm seeing, the two options here for Pisces. Aries, for your spread, your bottom card of the deck is Four of Swords, and your main spread consists of Ten of Cups, Three of Pentacles, and Ten of Swords. Your Oracle card is similar to Aquarius earlier. Remember to respond instead of react. This is probably one of the biggest takeaways from whatever you've been through recently. And just like Aquarius, I'll explain. You need to take the couple of moments necessary to temper any instinctual reaction to things and form a response instead that is thought through, so that you hopefully don't incite any larger problem with anything that you say or do in response to things that happen. From there, the Four of Swords, as your underlying context, is calling you to rest and take a break. Whatever you've been through recently, you are tired, you are probably on the verge of burnout, you need rest. So Samhain is a great time for this. It's literally the point of the season, or one of the points of the season, is to rest. You've done all of the work to harvest and reap the reward of the year that has passed so far. Now you need to rest and just gather yourself and rejuvenate yourself for the year that starts at Yule. So take time to rest. You can still, be involved in things, but don't start anything new right now. Don't do anything too strenuous right now. And that's not just physical, strain, that's also emotional or mental. The Ten of Cups and Ten of Swords both tell me that you have finished some sort of a journey recently. You are emotionally fulfilled and content. Some sort of hardship and struggle that you've been through has reached its end for the better at this point, because you're getting to rest, you're emotionally fulfilled. And the Three of Pentacles right in between tells me that somewhere along the way you discovered a new skill or talent within yourself, or started developing that new skill or talent for yourself. And so now you need to take the time to rest and take the time to consider what is next. Okay, I forgot to mention in the readings where they came up previously, but whenever a 10 pops up in a reading, it's also a reminder, because the 10 is the end of that suit, that with every ending comes a new beginning. Every door that closes opens another one. It's that whole idea, right? I know the sun's hitting my face weird, I'm sorry. I can't really do anything about it right now. So, with two 10s present, it furthers that reminder that you need to rest because something new is coming. whether it's something you choose or it's something that life throws at you. There is something new on the horizon. Rest as much as you can before that horizon reaches you. Whatever skill or talent this Three of Pentacles points to, whatever work or project the Three of Pentacles is pushing you to start acting on, is probably going to be involved in this new path and this new goal. But your big thing right now, Aries, is to rest and just take your time thinking about what's next. Taurus is, I think, being very harsh and unkind to themselves lately. In your main spread, the bottom of the deck is Four of Pentacles, and in the rest of your spread you have High Priestess inverted, the Queen of Swords inverted, and Temperance. You also have as your Lunar Oracle a New Moon card. Be as gentle with yourself as you would be with a friend. Four of Pentacles is greed and stinginess, possessiveness. You're overly attached to the material around yourself. High Priestess inverted, you've not been listening to your intuition and your inner voice enough. Queen of Swords inverted is an unfairness, a distance from other people. Temperance is calling for moderation and balance. And normally I would think that you are being unkind to others, but I think the distance and the unfairness, not listening to yourself, being over attached to the material and being stingy and greedy, I think you are being stingy with how much care you give yourself lately, Taurus. I think you're being too harsh with yourself, and I think you're punishing yourself by either overindulging in things that you want or underindulging in the things that you need. I think perhaps you've become so concerned with the material and with money and with funds that you're neglecting yourself things that you actually need to invest in for the sake of saving for perhaps something that you want, or because you feel that even the basics are things that you don't deserve right now. But that isn't the case, and you very much need to take care of yourself before you do anything that you want. You need to take care of yourself before you can do anything for or with any others that you care about. This is your counsel from Temperance and the Lunar Oracle for the season of Samhain, is to do everything in moderation and find a balance between giving yourself what you need and giving yourself what you want, between spending time by yourself and spending time with others, and be gentle and kind and loving to yourself. You are your first and longest friend, and when no one else is around, you might end up being your only friend. Take care of yourself and be kind and gentle to yourself, Taurus. Gemini has pulled, as the bottom of the deck, Two of Pentacles inverted. Your main spread is the Queen of Swords inverted, the Eight of Wands, and the One of Cups. Your Lunar Oracle is a wild card. Park your negative thoughts and work only with the positive. Gemini, first off, as the Lunar Oracle says very clearly, do your best in this time to shove all negative thoughts to the wayside, especially those about yourself, and focus on the positive. Be in the positive as much as you can. That's not to say you should never be angry. That's not to say you should never be sad. What it means is when you have negative thoughts, process them and let them pass on as quickly as you can. Only act on the positive thoughts. All that said, the Two of Pentacles inverted as the bottom of the deck says that at the heart of your current situation is a lot of feeling of being overwhelmed. You're dealing with too many things and you're losing control of all of them. Things are falling apart. Your juggling act through life, through all the aspects of your life, is starting to fail, and you're starting to drop the balls, the pins, whatever you're juggling. Hold on as best you can. If some things fall apart, that's okay. It happens. Just pick yourself back up, dust yourself off, pick up what you can, and start again to the best of your ability. The Queen of Swords inverted, like with Taurus, says that you have been very unfair either to yourself or to others, and you've been very distant from others lately. That might be part of why you're so overwhelmed and having so much trouble dealing with everything in your life right now. You need to consider reaching out to people who could help you, who would want to help you. In spite of your fear, ask others for help, because asking for help is in fact the courageous thing to do. The Eight of Wands says that some sort of message or several messages are on their way to you. So be very vigilant and very open to receiving those messages. Also know that things are about to start moving very quickly if they haven't already been doing so. You need to be prepared for things to get harder, which is why you need to be able to open yourself up to not only helping others, but letting other people help you. The One of Cups is a very positive note within all of this. There is a new emotional or relationship connection or emotional journey immediately on the horizon for you. This could be a brand new relationship. This could be a new facet to a relationship you've already had. Either way, I'm pretty sure that this emotional journey is going to help with these things, either by helping you to process things you've already been dealing with in a new way, or it's going to be a relationship with a person that's going to be able to really help lighten your load and help you with your juggling act. Do the best you can to hold everything together, but don't be afraid to ask other people for help, because I think one of those people you're going to ask is going to be more than happy to say, yes, I will gladly help you. There is someone who is going to help you. So just do the best you can to focus on acting on positive thoughts and reaching out to other people, and be open to the messages that the universe is going to send you over the next few weeks. Cancer, for your main tarot spread, the bottom of the deck is the Eight of Swords, and the other three cards, the Page of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, and the Knight of Swords inverted. You got two Lunar Oracle cards, both new moon cards. Old habits that no longer serve need reviewing. Be still and listen, and your heart will hear what it needs. Altogether, this reading is telling you that you need to move on from something about you and your life now has exceeded its shelf life and needs to be let go of and moved on from. And this is the perfect season for letting go and moving on and learning those lessons. The Eight of Swords says that mentally you've been very stuck. You've been going in circles. You've been trapped by some sort of thought pattern or belief. Perhaps you've even manifested becoming stuck by saying out loud that you're never going to get anywhere. You're never going to succeed at this goal. It's never going to happen. Don't talk like that. The Page of Pentacles and the Four of Wands are your main guidance here, in that you need to focus and you need to let yourself be involved in the relationships and bonds you already have in your life. You need to look for the people in your life who are most reliable, who are most trustworthy, to give you a bit of stability and reliability to bounce off of for your own development during this period. Really turn to the people that you care about, who care the most about you, and who you most trust to talk through this and break you out of this mental cycle you've been in. Because the Knight of Swords inverted is basically reiterating the Eight of Swords, in that you've been going in circles, you've been indecisive, and you've been unable to move forward in some way because of how you've been stuck. Find these people, these really trustworthy, these really reliable, these ride or die individuals. Talk with them and be open to receiving what they say. Be open to listening. Be open to figuring out the parts of yourself that you need to let go of and walk away from in order to grow and in order to be able to not only move forward finally, but to become a better version of yourself who might be able to help others move forward the way that this relationship or these relationships, it could be multiple people, have helped you. Take the time to turn within and turn to these other people so that you can break the almost literal cycle you've been going through in your head and finally move forward. Leo, you have Six of Swords in the bottom of the deck, the Wheel inverted, Six of Wands inverted, and Queen of Wands. Off the bat, I'm going to urge you to consider looking into the meanings of the number 6. Your Lunar Oracle card is a full moon card. Your own best efforts are all that's necessary to progress. You are in a situation or a time right now, Leo, where most of the work and effort to reach your current goal is going to have to come from you. Whether it's physical action or shifting how you're thinking, you are the one driving this bus. Six of Swords says that you are moving away from a situation that you absolutely need to get out of for your own good. And so this is a good positive shift. You need to make sure that your mind is as focused as possible on the things you need to do to reach your current goal. Rather than, jumping from goal to project, focus on one thing right now. Because the Wheel inverted says that this is a period of stagnation, and there are things that need to change that aren't changing right now and that are meeting obstacles in changing. If it's you that's avoiding the change, you need to surrender, you need to let go and let the changes happen, because they're probably going to happen whether you want them to or not. You need to just address how you've been thinking, do what you need to prepare yourself for any and all things that the change will throw at you, and just prepare to respond to the things that occur. The Six of Wands inverted is a fear of victory. You're perhaps concerned about what change is going to bring because you're concerned about what it's really going to feel like when you've reached your goal. And that's okay. Fear of the unknown is one of the most natural fears of the human race. Don't surrender to your fear. Surrender to change. Be open and ready to respond to the things that come up. That's all you really can do. You have a plan, stick to it as you can, but know that you're probably going to have to go with the flow and shift your plan, shift the exact iota of that plan here and there. The Queen of Wands points to a serious determination, and it's straightforwardness and directness. Be as direct as you can about what you want and what you need, not only with yourself, but with anybody else that's involved in you reaching this end goal. And try to take the most straightforward and direct path to that goal. Focus on this goal, don't get distracted, and focus on what you need to do to reach this goal. And surrender to change, not to fear of change. Virgo has pulled the inverted King of Wands in the bottom of the deck, the inverted Sun, the inverted Transformation, and Ten of Cups, as well as a New Moon Oracle. Mark each day's end with gratitude. Virgo is avoiding moving forward. King of Wands inverted is conceited. It is petty. It is trying to show off and feel better than others in some regard. It's someone being flamboyant for flamboyancy's sake. There's a disconnect here between how you've been acting or thinking and who you normally are, Virgo. I feel like this isn't quite like you. The Sun inverted says that there are solutions right in front of you to your current situation or current problems that you're not seeing, or you see but you're not taking. Transformation inverted, being effectively the Death card, says that there is important change in your life that needs to happen and you're not letting it happen. You're avoiding it. And because you've been acting this way, you are unable to reach a state of emotional contentment and fulfillment that's right on the other side. That's the Ten of Cups. Right on the other side of all this from you. You need to shift how you've been thinking and how you've been looking at the world and how you've been acting. And step one, apparently from the Lunar Oracle, is to mark each day with gratitude. Quite literally, you're being told to count your blessings here. Count off all the things that you're grateful for. And from there, figure out the difference between being thankful for something and flaunting that thing in someone else's face. Do what you can to move away from this pettiness, this showing things off for the sake of showing them off and making yourself feel better than others, because you don't need others to think of you as the one who has it all in order to be happy. At least you shouldn't need that. You need to evaluate and recenter and check these behaviors. You need to work through that and let that go. That way you will reach this Ten of Cups and you'll be able to move forward to new and better things. Last but certainly not least is Libra, who has pulled the inverted One of Cups in the bottom of the deck, the inverted Six of Wands, the Knight of Swords, the inverted King of Cups, and a New Moon Lunar Oracle. Be as gentle with yourself as you would with your friend. At the heart of this is the inverted One of Cups, which points to perhaps a feeling of abandonment, feelings of depletion and emptiness, and perhaps this need to hide your true thoughts and feelings about something for the sake of the outside world. Playing into this, we do have the inverted Six of Wands, which indicates some sort of fear or lack of motivation regarding reaching some goal or victory. The Knight of Swords, who is idealism and points to the need for your ability to analyze and think through problems being something you're going to have to very heavily rely on as you move through this time. The King of Cups inverted points to being over obsessed with even the little things, being too obsessed with situations and with problems that aren't that big of a deal, but by obsessing over them, you turn them into the largest problems, and needing to detach from those things. And rather than focusing on situations where you have little to no control and there is no chance that you alone are going to fix it, turn your attention to the things that you can effect a solution and a change to. Focus on the right things. With the Lunar Oracle applied into here, be as gentle with yourself as you would with your friend. I think like a few of the other signs who've had kind of similar readings for this season, you've been harder on yourself lately. You have felt that your feelings and your thoughts aren't worth discussing. They're not worth feeling. They're not worth processing. And I think that has perhaps caused some of these issues with the King of Cups, for instance, where you're obsessing over the little things instead of addressing bigger, more important issues, possibly because you've been bottling up so many things that you've been dealing with that it is the small things at the very top of the pile that send everything over and cause you to get more outwardly upset than the larger issues. Be kind to yourself, take care of yourself, and let yourself open up to people around you about the things that bother you. And I definitely think that this fear of reaching a goal or a victory, you perhaps, because of how things have been going, I do think this sense of abandonment that's going on here is what's leading to some of this other stuff. You need to figure out the people who are always in your corner no matter what, and who are going to cheer on even your smallest victories, and talk with them and be with them and let them convince you that whatever victory you're afraid of with this inverted Six of Wands is one that you have earned. You've worked very, very hard toward it. Why shouldn't you receive it? Let yourself be open to knowing that you've earned your victory, and thus open to the victory and all of the rewards that come with it. So there are our 12 horoscope readings for the Western Zodiac for the season of Samhain. I do hope that each of you found guidance in at least one of the readings in this video, and I hope that you all have a restful and abundant and very delightful Samhain season. Thank you so much for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please click the like button and let me know in the comments which reading resonated most with you. If you'd like to see more content like this, I have a playlist of all of my tarot readings, which you can find listed in the cards as well as in the descriptive tome. If you'd like to stay up to date on all of my content here on this channel as it premieres here, please click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to turn on all of your notifications. If you'd like to find where I'm active on other social media planes, my link tree is also in the descriptive tome below, and within the link tree you can also find a link to my Patreon, which starts at $1 a month if you would like to further contribute to content like this continuing to happen and becoming bigger and better. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you all again very soon. Keep aiming, my loves. Mwah!